AI companions. We're looking at artificial intelligence explicitly designed to simulate conversational rapport and provide highly personalized emotional support. Honestly, it's a real game changer. We are seeing AI step right into roles that were traditionally exclusively held by human peers, friends, or even therapists. Millions of people are now turning to language models not just to write their emails or fix some code, but to talk about their day, vent their frustrations, and actually seek out comfort.
But how does the machine actually make us feel seen? Well, it's a process. Step 1. The system analyzes the text for emotional cues. It's scanning for words indicating stress, joy, or sadness. Step 2. It mirrors the user's conversational tone. It literally adjusts its formality and cadence to match yours, which, psychology tells us, builds instant trust. And finally, Step 3. It generates a hyper-personalized, empathetic response. Now, obviously, the algorithm doesn't actually feel anything, but by executing these 3 steps flawlessly, it completely fabricates a highly calculated illusion of being understood by a caring entity.
Moving on to Part 3, the paradox of digital ties, connection versus isolation. Objectively speaking, the pros of our modern digital architecture are just undeniable. We have unprecedented global reach and 24/7 availability. You can find a community for the most incredibly niche interests imaginable at 3 o'clock in the morning. But we really have to weigh that against the cons. This constant, always-on availability often results in pretty surface-level depth in our actual relationships. Plus, we easily fall into algorithmic echo chambers. You know, the ones where we're really only interacting with ideas and people that just reinforce what we already believe, which ultimately fragments our broader social fabric. Neither side of this equation is entirely good or entirely bad. It's simply the new environment we're trying to navigate.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real issue. Text-based social media, which, let's remember, is where we spend the vast majority of those 7 hours of screen time, ranks astonishingly low for actual emotional fulfillment. Immersive VR and rich video interactions, those sit right in the middle. But the absolute peak? In-person interaction. The highest level of fulfillment remains the oldest form of connection. What this data is basically screaming at us is that the sheer volume of our digital interactions simply does not correlate with the quality of our emotional fulfillment. We're essentially eating a ton of digital junk food and then wondering why we feel socially malnourished.
So, that brings us to Part 4, designing tomorrow's relationships. Where do we go from here?
Consider this quote for a second. We are currently designing connection systems that optimize for user engagement time rather than genuine emotional resonance. This right here is the whole crux of the issue. The current incentive structure for tech platforms is entirely built to keep your eyes glued to the screen for as many minutes as possible, mostly just to serve you ads. The algorithms are doing exactly what they were built to do. They are capturing your attention. But capturing attention is definitely not the same thing as nurturing a human soul. There's a really fundamental misalignment happening between the